Good afternoon, YouTube. Today we are going to do another sharper image review for the not so new DX-4. You know, guys, for a toy, it's really not that bad. For a cheap toy, it did pretty well. It costs about, depending where you're at and what year it is, today it is 7:30, July 30th, 2017. So we're pretty late out there. And we are going to get started on this review in 1 second. Let me get situated here. Okay, so DX4 Sharper Image Review. It's got the remote controller here. Same exact controller as the DX2 from my last review. You might have seen that. DX2, decent toy. It works for what it is, you know. All the Sharper Image is made out of the same material, same plastic, doesn't change. The size of this thing is pretty dang big. Pretty big. Compared to the DX2, we'll look at it together. It's a very huge difference. Very huge. But since it does has the camera, it's worth it. It gets it more heavy. It orientates it better. The wind doesn't grab it as much. Since it has a camera on it, you can take better videos. Of course, the DX2 does not. Thank you for not putting camera on the DX2. It would have been pointless to have it on the DX2. There are small drones with cameras on them, but that's their thing. We're gonna do Sharper Image today. So DX4 controller, same exact thing as the DX2 controller, same buttons. Actually, the DX2 button does not have the takeoff button on it, which is kind of weird. It has, let me grab that thing real quick. Audio orientation, direction trim, and spin trim. This one has takeoff, land. All the buttons are in the same place, just different titles to them. This is takeoff, land, audio orientation, plus and minus, and direction trim, left, right, up, and down. DX2, you know, in my last video, it's kind of spin trim, left and right, auto orientation, up and down, but there's a land button. There's just not a takeoff button. Land button's right here, and the top one says auto orientation. Now, auto orientation, they say it can stay in the same place, but honestly it doesn't. DX4 does a much better job at it. Now, DX4 is, it's about 1.5 pounds or something like that. I didn't quite weigh it. The camera is adjustable. You can see the camera is adjustable on it, but the bad thing is that you have to adjust it yourself before the flight. So depending on what type of video you're wanting to capture, if you want a straight shot of where you're flying, I would put it about right in the middle. So it goes right to where it's flying. If you want a kind of a lower view of like a house or land or property or something like that, or a town, baseball game, soccer game, wedding, whatever it is, you can put it down. Or, you know, it can go all the way up for look at the clouds or the sunset. Depending on what you're wanting to do, set it before your flight. The battery in it is in the back. Right here underneath USB port, which is called the C port, I do believe. Comes with one battery. On and off switches on the bottom, right here. Talk about the lights in 1 second. The battery's got an 800 about milliamp hour battery life. It takes about an hour, 45 minutes to 2 hours to charge. It kind of just ranges for some reason. every time I charge it, it's different. For some reason, I've timed it, and it's never exactly the same. They say it's about a 9-minute flight. When I take a video, I don't know if the video makes it drain faster or something, but all I can get is about 7.5 minutes. Auto hover, it has it, but it's supposed to auto hover. It's supposed to stay within like a couple inch radius, you know, without moving noticeably too much, instead of like this DX2. Auto hover, honestly, they have it, but it sucks. Doesn't do it well, you know. I wish it did. It would work better for not professional videos, because you show up at a wedding with this thing as a professional photographer with a drone, they probably would kick you out, honestly. They probably wouldn't even let you eat any snacks there. But otherwise, when you wanted to auto land, it comes down to about a 5-foot radius and then it just drops. So be careful that if you're on a boat or something, which I wouldn't take it on a boat, but just be careful of where it is. It doesn't have like a return to home button, so it doesn't come right to where it started. That's that. Captures photos, videos, and connects to a Wi-Fi called, I think it says DX-4 or something on it. Once you turn the drone on, the Wi-Fi goes on. It's weird that it's Wi-Fi instead of Bluetooth. I don't understand how they did that, but it works. The controller, again, decent range. I have not had it lose connection. A lot of people on different videos I've seen, they've had it lose connection for some reason, and they lose it, or somehow they get it back. But I have not. I've taken it as high as it can. I've taken it as far as it can, and it doesn't lose it. But just be careful when you do that. I would practice close, because once it gets out there, it is hard to drive. It is, honestly. It's not like the Phantom. If you let the controller go, yes, it goes back to the middle if you let it go. But again, auto orientation does not work very well. It works, but not very well. You can push the button, but again, guys, if you let it go, keep your eye on, because you will lose it. You will lose it. And the bumper guard on it, a little bit better plastic than the DX2 had. It's still a little flimsy. It's not broken yet, surprisingly, but it works, you know. I'm going to take it off soon, because flying through trees or close to a tree, it doesn't have the motion detector if it's getting close to something, so it'll literally go into a tree or into a building or onto anything without it stopping. It'll get stuck on a tree branch, and then you have to climb it. I've had to climb it twice with this one, and it's a pain in the butt, honestly. But you know, for the DX4, it does what it is. You know, it's for Walmart toy drone. Out of a 10, I would give it about a 5 in drones with cameras. But for a toy, I would sure give it an 8, you know. I think there are better ones. We'll see. I'm going to get another one that I seen the other day. They were out just recently, but I'm going to keep on looking for it. But this one is decent. Plastic is nice. It looks well made. The lights on it, again, there are white ones and there are red ones. White is red front facing, red is back. But honestly, looking at the difference, hold on, and I'm back. Looking at the difference, for some reason, these lights are brighter, I think. Y'all tell me the difference in the comments below. I think they're brighter. Might just be me, but I think it's brighter. Who knows? So when you're flying this and it crashes, there's really no kill switch. You can hold the button down to make it stop, but it takes a few seconds. I mean, you can do an on and off switch, but you know, then you gotta reset it up, and that's a pain in the butt too. The app name, if you need to download it online to check it out, it's 360 Flight. The buttons on it, again, there is a button that says stunt, has decent stunts. These two other buttons are unknown. There's no name on it. I think it's just there for the reason of maybe there's a bigger DX. I'm not sure. Maybe DX-4. I don't know. I have not seen one or seen a review on it just yet. I'll look it up and I'll let you know in the comments below. But the stunt's pretty nice. It's better than DX-2. I don't suggest flying it inside because when you do the stunt, it goes up and then it flips for some reason instead of going and flipping. I don't understand why, but it does. There also is, other than the only difference between these two controllers, if you can see, it has a high, medium, and low. I suggest keeping on a low once you are a beginner, because the fact of that, first of all, battery will drain faster, and it makes it faster. It's harder to control. It goes faster. And yeah, that's that. Crash joysticks up and down. Okay, so the thing to do when it crashes, it's for some reason it just doesn't want to, you move it back up, it doesn't want to go again. You have to move both joysticks out and down to auto orientate it again, or to just adjust the flight. For some reason it wants you to do that. I've seen that in another review, and it does work. So pros of this: it does have a camera, good controller, it fits in your hands well. You know, you can use them as pinchers if you have to. Some people do that, but that's not comfortable to me. And it is hard plastic, it's not going to break easy. Cons: camera is about a 320 by 240 camera resolution, which is not the best, honestly. Battery life, again, is about 7.5 minutes on average. The noise is pretty loud. The camera, let me think. The camera, adjustable, non-adjustable on the remote. I wish it would. It would be nice if these buttons were to do it, but it doesn't. So you gotta fix the camera before you take a flight. And auto hover does not work very well. It might just be me. I might have a defective piece. It just doesn't work very well for me, guys. Well, that is my DX-4 review. If you like my review and want some more, comment below. If you have other items that I should review, comment below. Subscribe and like my videos. Again, come back and see my other reviews. I do have another video of my DX-4 when I first got it. It is on my YouTube channel. There's a video that's called Morris DX-4 Flight Morris's Land. Morris is my last name. It's my family's property. It's really cool. My little brother's on it. My dad's waving in the video. My son's on it playing baseball. You'll see him. It's a pretty cool video. This is my first video putting together like that. Check it out, guys, and y'all have a good rest of your day.